Hey, it's Vicky and I'm here to do another vlog, and this one I wanted to do because you know that, well you may not know this, but I do like to hold myself accountable when it comes to my channel. When I say I want to read a book or I'm gonna read this book, I tend to try to read those books. Like if I set a TBR, I'm one of those people. If I set a TBR, I tend to read those books on my TBR. And so I had this idea because last summer I did a video where I was talking about books that were coming out in the summer of 2021. So all new releases that I was excited about and was going to pick up. And so I was curious if I actually read all the books that I put in that video. And if I didn't, I'm gonna read them now. So I went ahead and watched the video. I thought about doing kind of like a reaction video like I do with my book haul revisits, because this is kind of the same, sort of. But I decided not to do that. It's too time consuming, whatever. So I went ahead and watched the video. And there were 5 books? No, 7. There were 7 books in that video that I talked about. And they were, I have a couple of them because some of them I did purchase. So in that video, one that I was looking forward to was We Are Not Broken by George M. Johnson, and I read this one. I loved it. It was 4 stars. It's a memoir that basically George wrote for their grandmother, because their grandmother was the matriarch. She was kind of the glue that held everyone together. And George was very close with her. So this is just like an ode to a family member. And it was really heartwarming. It was great. I loved it. So yeah, this was a 4-star read. And then another one was Stephen King's Billy Summers. And I read this one as well. And I gave it 3 stars because I remember liking, I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember now if it was the first part of the book that was really interesting and then it kind of went downhill, if it was the other way around. I want to say it was the first half was kind of meh and then the ending got good, but then the ending got kind of crappy again, if I remember right. It was very up and down. So I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable. It was about a hitman who was planning to do like one last job, and then that one last job was a time. Another one that I read was The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, and I don't have this one, but I got it from the library at the time, and I gave that one 4 stars. It was awesome. It was a horror novel, but like it was more literary, about a family that moved back to like the parents' hometown, and their son, who is like 15, is with them obviously. And he starts to have some problems, and they think it's linked to the town and some sort of bad thing in the town. And it was really good. I think it dealt a lot with sort of like family trauma and like generational stuff, and it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. And then another one I read was The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This one was a lot of fun. It was about a final girl who is in this like therapy group with other final girls, and what I really loved about this one, well, I guess I should finish telling you what it is. So they're in this support group together, and then one of them gets killed, and they all start to like basically fear for their lives. And what I really liked about this was that every final girl in the book was basically like a final girl from your classic horror movies. So like you had like a Nancy character, like from Nightmare on Elm Street. You had a Sydney from Scream, but they weren't named those, but that's what they were. Each final girl was like modeled after a cinematic final girl. And so that made it really fun. It was and that's what made it so enjoyable for me, was that it was a nod to that genre of film. Anyway, it was fun. I gave it 4 stars. Then I also read Battle of the Bands, and it was a anthology series, edited by Lauren Gabaldi and Eric Smith. I have this written down, sorry. And this one was really fun. I read it for nostalgic purposes because I loved going to like Battle of the Bands when I was in high school. A lot of my friends were in local bands and would play at local area, you know, like local like clubs and stuff. And so that's how I spent a lot of my like weekends and stuff, was with my friends while they played shows. And so this was a YA anthology, and every short story had to do with or took place at this battle, the bands at this high school going on. So they were all interconnected. And yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. And that was a 3-star. But there were 2 that I didn't read. Okay. The first one is called The Buried by Melissa Gray. So I'm going to pull up the like synopsis for The Buried, because I remember it was about, what intrigued me and kind of freaked me out was it was about a group of people that some sort of horrible thing happens and they all go underground, and they're like living underground and have been for years. And to me that just sounds absolutely horrifying, because I am claustrophobic. The idea of living underground is just not fun for me. And they have this like charismatic leader who is supposed to be, yeah, like the lady in charge. And there are rules, like they're not allowed to go to even attempt to go to the surface and that sort of thing. And so I feel like the book is going to be about, there's got to be a couple people that are sick of living underground, and they're like, let's go see what's going on up there. So I don't know, it still sounds really intriguing to me, and so I definitely still want to read that one. And yeah, I guess I don't really need to pull the synopsis up because I think I remembered it. It really doesn't have a whole lot of ratings. It doesn't seem like a ton of people have read this one. 567 ratings, and it has a 3.28, which isn't awesome, but I'm still gonna read it anyway. I'm curious what this catastrophic event was that brought them underground, and what the world is like if they end up going back up there. I don't know, it just sounds cool. So yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. And then the other one that I didn't read is called The Girls Are Never Gone by Sarah Glenn Marsh. And this one is a horror mystery. I don't know if it's YA or not. I should probably check that out. But this one I remember the synopsis for. It was about a podcast host who does like spooky podcasts, talks about haunted places and ghosts and all that stuff. But she is herself kind of skeptical, but she does this podcast anyways. I don't know. So she gets this idea to go to this place, this house, as like an episode for her podcast. And it is this house where there is a lake on the property where years ago a little girl drowned, and it's apparently haunting the area. So she goes there to do her podcast. And mind you, like I said, she is skeptical about ghosts and hauntings. And I have a feeling that she's going to go there and she's going to see some stuff. She's going to experience some stuff. Hopefully it'll be a nice spooky time. So I definitely still want to really read that one as well. So my plan of attack for this is I think I'm going to listen to both of these on audio, because this month when I like made my TBR, I didn't really have any audiobooks planned. I was like, I'm just going to kind of go with the flow with the audiobooks. And so yeah, I have room, I guess, to listen to some audiobooks. So I think if I remember right, okay, let me look it up really quick. Hold on. Okay, so Scribd has The Buried, so that's awesome. I will be doing that book via Scribd. The other one, The Girls Are Never Gone, I couldn't find anywhere other than Audible, so I'm gonna use it on Audible. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start with The Buried only because it's on Scribd, so it's like readily, I mean, they're both readily available to me really, but I'll just do The Buried first. And yeah, hopefully these ones are good, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable because I said last summer I was gonna read these, so now I'm gonna read them. So once I get started with The Buried, and I have something to say, I will check in with you guys. You're in my laundry room with me right now because I'm gonna be folding towels, but I wanted to do like a kind of like initial reaction to The Buried because I did start it yesterday, and I listened to about an hour of the audiobook, and I didn't realize this, but I quickly figured it out, and I didn't realize going in that it was a YA novel, but then I quickly assumed it was because we meet 3 characters, like there's like 3 points of view just in the first, you know, few chapters that are all teenagers. And they're all, I know one of them for sure is like 17, but they are living in this bunker underground. And the thing about them that's interesting is that they have not always lived underground, but they've been down there, I can't remember if it was 7 years, 9 years, something like that. So they did spend like part of their childhood living like you and I do, but then something happened and now they're in this bunker, and there's still a lot of like, we're kind of in the dark about the details of like what happened, what was this catastrophic event and all this. But so you meet each of the characters. There's Sash, Gabe, and oh, I can't remember the other girl's name. I think it's like Una or something like that. And what's interesting too is I'm not sure where they are, because like Sash, it seems like her family is Russian. Her mom, prior to this horrible event, was a ballet dancer for Kirov, or one of the, you know, one of the ballet companies back in the day. She was a ballerina, and so it seems like she has like Russian heritage. But then you have the other girl, like I said, I think her name's like, it's like Una or Uma or Erna, it's something like that, I can't remember. But it seems like her family is Asian. And then Gabe, it seems like he's just like American or maybe English or something. No, you'd think he would have an English accent if he was English. But so it's interesting because it's like they seem like they're from different cultures, but they're all in this bunker. So I don't know where in the world they are. And it's not like it's a huge community. It seems like there's only maybe like a couple dozen people. So I don't know. There's still just a lot of mystery surrounding the bunker, where it is, why they're there. But you could tell that these teens are definitely not happy with their, you know, where they are, because they know what it was like before. So it's just interesting to kind of get that point of view. What are you doing, hon?
I locked the door because like we're getting popsicles, and the popsicle place is closed. So that's why I have to get it.
Do you need help getting popsicles, or are you okay?
No, I don't need red.
Do you need help getting popsicles?
Wait.
So anyways, I know this is like cutting my head off, and I'm sorry, but you're like on the window ledge in the laundry room, so I'm doing the best I can here. But anyways, you also meet the like leader of this group, and she definitely has like, gives off like weird vibes. Like she has sort of a cult leader type personality, and she has her own sort of theories as to why this event happened and why they are where they are and have to stay where they are. But you already kind of get the vibe that she's not super trustworthy. So, I don't know. So far it's not bad. I'm enjoying. Like I said, I didn't know it was YA, but it doesn't really surprise me that I sort of gravitated towards it, because I have been gravitating towards YA stories for a while, and I don't know why. It's just the thing. So yeah, when I make a little more progress, I will let you know, but so far it's not bad. I like it. I'm intrigued. I definitely want to know what's going on. And yeah, when I find out something else, I will let you know. So I have about an hour left of this audiobook, and my thoughts on it are basically like, I'm kind of glad that I didn't actually purchase this book. I mean, I guess I'm using my Scribd account to listen to it. So in a way I have paid to access this book, but like, it's just, there's not like anything really giving me like that wow factor about it. Basically what I kind of suspected from the beginning, it seems like, is what is happening. Like, there haven't been any surprises. With a story like this, what you are kind of expecting is what you get in terms of reveals and stuff so far. So I don't know, unless this like last hour just really packs a punch and just something comes out of left field and just totally shocks me. I mean, this book is just like, okay. So yeah, right now I'm sitting at anywhere between a 2 and a 3 star rating for this. It had a lot of potential, but so far, like I said, there hasn't been anything exciting happening that I wasn't expecting. And yeah, I kind of wanted to be surprised by something. So who knows? Like I said, I'm gonna listen to the last hour. I have a few chores to do. So hopefully I'll be able to knock it out and then give my final thoughts on it. Fingers crossed that something exciting happens. So today is Hunter's 5th birthday. I can't believe that he's already 5. And it's really weird because when I started this channel, I was pregnant with him. And so it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just like bittersweet that my baby is 5 today. So we actually already like celebrated his birthday over the weekend with friends and family and stuff. So today is like a little bit more of a low-key day, but it is still like his actual birthday. But I did wanted to report that I finished The Buried, and I think it's gonna be like a 2.5 star. I don't know, there just wasn't anything about it that really was like, seemed super original to me or surprising. But at the same time, I did want to keep listening to it. It was an entertaining audiobook in a sense, although like the first part of it was kind of slow. And I think that this story, if like given to the right screenwriter, I think it would be a good like mini series or something like that, because like if it was given to somebody who could really kind of go more in depth with like some of the characters and all that, because I think that like the basic story, though it has been done a lot, is still like interesting, and I think people would like it. I think with The Buried, I just wanted like more horror elements. I wanted, because there were, I mean, and there were some for sure, but I just wanted more like atmosphere, because these people are in this bunker underground, and though they say it all the time, like, oh, we're in this bunker and it sucks, like I didn't get a feeling of like that claustrophobia and that isolation. I just didn't get that vibe, and so I really wish it had done that. And going back to like it becoming a series, I think that could be done really well via a mini series or something. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't horrible. So 2.5 stars. So I'm hoping that The Girls Are Never Gone is a little bit more enjoyable for me. This one I think I'm really gonna enjoy because of the like haunted house or like haunted place, because I don't know if it's actually the house or if it's this lake or just the property in general, but like haunted places are really my thing. I really love stories like that. So especially when like in this story the main character is kind of skeptical, like doesn't want to believe, and then they're like forced to believe because the ghost is like, oh, you're gonna believe in me. I like love that stuff. So I'm gonna be listening to this one on Audible because I couldn't find it anywhere else, and like I said, I wanted to listen to both of these books on audio. So yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully start that sometime today. And I have to run. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna go or if Austin's gonna go, but we have to go up to our vet and get Morgie some medicine. She has a boo-boo foot, and it's really just like giving her some grief. She's been licking it a lot, and so it's like it's all raw and it's getting infected, and we're not really sure what happened to it, but there's definitely something going on, and she's uncomfortable. She's like, she started limping yesterday, and then like when she like licks at it and stuff, she cries because it hurts, but then she won't stop licking it. And then like we were gonna try to like wrap it to stop her from licking it, and the vet said no, don't do that because then moisture gets trapped in and that can like make an infection worse. So we got all kinds of medicine we gotta go get for her. And hopefully her foot will feel better, or paw, I suppose I should say. It's her paw. She doesn't have feet technically, but anyway. So maybe if I'm the one who goes out to the vet, maybe I'll start it then. Leia also has dance tonight. She has a summer class. And so maybe while I'm sitting there in the car, maybe I'll start it in the car. I don't know. Hopefully though I start it today. And hopefully it's a little better than the buried was. Hey, so I'm in my car. And I wanted to give you guys an update for The Girls Are Never Gone. I started it yesterday and I've listened to about 2.5 hours of it, and so far I like it. I think the main character, her name is Dare, which I think is like her last name. I really like her. She has type 1 diabetes, and she's also bisexual. So yeah, I really like that because I haven't it's been a long time, I think, since I've read about a diabetic character. I think the last one that I really remember is Stacy from the Babysitter's Club. And it's great because like she does talk about it a lot in the book because it is a huge part of her daily life. And she has a dog named, I want to say Waffle or something like that. Some sort of breakfast food that is like her, oh my gosh, I'm having a total blank. He's like her, helper dog. Oh my god, I know that's not what it's called, but anyways, he can like alert her when her levels are off, because he can like sense it, and it's cool. So has a dog in it, love it. And so far like the spooky vibes are not quite there, because you're still kind of getting introduced to the setting and everything, but she's there because she's doing a serialized story for a podcast that she's trying to start up, and she goes there because it's supposedly haunted. She's skeptical, and so far, like all the things that are happening, she's kind of doing the typical thing that skeptics do, where she tries to explain it away with something else, like, oh, the electricity being weird is because it's an old house, and the noises are because it's an old house, and like stuff like that. And so it's fun because, as a reader, you're like, no, it's a ghost, and you're gonna find out it's a ghost, and you need to just face the facts that you're dealing with a ghost. I always think that's really fun. So yeah, so I really like the main character. The story's pretty good. Like I said, there's been a couple spooky things, but nothing crazy, but enough to make you kind of curious and wanting to know more about this haunted place. And yeah, I like it. The only thing is I am listening to it on audio, and the narrator so this is a YA book, by the way, and so our main character is, I want to say she's like a senior in high school, or maybe she's about to start college. I can't remember. She's about that age. And I swear the audiobook narrator sounds like she's my age. Like, she does not sound like a teenager at all. I wonder why they couldn't have cast someone that just sounds a little bit younger, but whatever. I can see past it because I am enjoying the book and everything. So yeah, so far so good. So far it is better than The Buried, which is good, because I would have really hated to have two like meh books in this vlog. So yeah, hopefully it's still good. I'm in my car because I am meeting up with my book club for the first time in 2.5 years. So I'm really excited because I haven't seen them since COVID happened, because we never like kept our book club going, because the nature of our book club is that we read books that are either being adapted into movies or have been adapted into movies, and then like we would read the book and we would all get together, watch the movie either at someone's house, or if it's a new movie, go to the movie theater, and then we would like it, and then we would talk about it. There's people walking by. Okay. And we just never could, like, we felt like we couldn't really do that like via Zoom or anything like that. It just didn't have the same vibes and stuff, so we kind of just put it on hiatus until now. And we're going to see The Crawdad Sing, which I'm not like totally in love with. It was a book that I read a couple years ago and it was okay. I was not one that like loved the book, and I know I'm in the minority there, that most people who have read this book loved it. I was not one of them, but and if it wasn't for my book club, I would not be going to the movie theater to see the movie, but I want to see my book club friends, so I'm gonna go, and hopefully it's good. I don't know. The good thing is, the theater we're going to on Tuesdays, they only charge you $5 to go to the movies. So I'm only out $5 if it sucks. So so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll talk about it more in this vlog or if I'll do a flicks and lit on it. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see, because my memory of the book, because it was so meh for me, is kind of hazy. I don't remember a ton of the details. I remember how it ended, because that was one of the reasons I thought it was meh. I don't know. So, yeah, I am going to go into the theater and watch this movie, chat with my book club friends, and then I'll check in with you later. Hello. I'm in the kids' bathroom because I'm cleaning bathrooms today, and I thought I would chat with you guys while I clean, because then I can like kill two birds with one stone, you know what I mean? So, okay, first order of business, and I'm sorry if it's echoey, because we are in a bathroom, so sorry about that. And if I dodge in and out, because I'm moving. But, first things first, what was Crawdads like, the movie? Like I think I said in the clip before where I was talking about going to see it, the book was a 3-star read for me. Definitely parts that I liked, parts that I didn't like. The ending, the like kind of like twist that is dropped at the very end of the book, I didn't like it. I don't know. I didn't like it. So going into the movie, I was just like, whatever. But I think that as far as being like a adaptation, they adapted it very well. It was pretty much the book, you know? And what I really liked about it was, my favorite thing about the book was the setting and all the talk of like the marshland and all of the creatures and stuff that the main character Kaya kind of like studies and draws. She's really into nature in that particular, like her home, because she lives in like a marsh area, and that's what I liked about it, was the descriptions of the nature and just the place. And the movie nailed that. It was beautiful, like breathtakingly beautiful. And so yeah, that was a win for sure. And I think the casting was good, the acting was good. And I think I liked, because in the book there's like a romance, and you know me, I don't really care about romances. And so for me, like, that kind of bogged the book down for a little while, because I just didn't care. But in the movie, I didn't mind it as much, which makes sense to me because I don't read romance books, but I'll watch like a rom-com or like a movie with romance. So I don't know what that is, but I guess I don't like reading romance as much as like watching it. I don't know. So that was fine. So yeah, I think that this is one of those instances where I feel like the movie was better than the book for me. Even though it was like the same story, they didn't really change anything, but it was, for me, it was like visually seeing a lot of the setting and stuff. So yes, Crawdads wasn't bad, I have to say. And it wasn't bad that I only paid $5 to see it, so. All right, so then, though, to check in with my book for this vlog, I'm about halfway through The Girls Are Never Gone, and it's pretty good. Like, for a little bit there, I was starting to worry that it was kind of getting a little slow, and there wasn't a lot of, like, spooky stuff happening, and then even the little bit of spooky stuff that was there, it was like explained away by something else, by the main character. And so I was just like, okay, I'm ready for like some legit horror scenes. And it has delivered now officially. The last chapter I just read was pretty great in the horror department, so I was happy there. And I like that there's like this kind of mystery going on that the main character is trying to figure out, because, you know, she goes to this place because it's known that this one girl, what was her name? Like, her name's like Aveline or something like that, that she died there. She drowned in the lake, that's on the property. And so she goes there for that, really. And kind of like what she's doing there is she's working with this woman who bought the property and wants to like fix it up and stuff. Her and her daughter and then this other local girl are kind of like working on it, like renovating it, cleaning it up. And they're getting like, it's like a summer internship is kind of like what they're doing. So that's kind of her like way to get in to go and be there and stuff. And also kind of work on her podcast. So yeah, she's there and she's diving into like this Aveline girl, like what happened to her and blah, blah, blah. And then it's kind of finding out that there's a lot more to the story, to the property, just to like the history. And so it's got a pretty good mystery too. And then, like I said, the mystery was carrying me along, but I was kind of like, okay, I want some spooky stuff, man. And now that's happened. So all in all, I'm enjoying it. I think it's good. Especially for like being written for a younger audience. I think it's good. I like it. So I'm gonna keep chugging along at that. I actually kind of took a little break so I could check in with you guys. I've been cleaning. And yeah, I'll probably, once I get a little more read, I will check in with you guys. I'm hoping, I have like less than 3 hours left of the audiobook. So I'm hoping that I can finish it either today or tomorrow and like wrap up the vlog. So I'll let you guys know. So I finished The Girls Are Never Gone and I really liked it. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think that what I really liked about this was the main character, Dare. She was just a really like fun character and she just had a really good just sort of spirit about her. She was really positive even when things got scary and crazy. She seemed to just be really level-headed and I liked her skepticism, but then yeah, when she reached the point, which we inevitably knew she would, that she was like, okay, this is like a for real ghost I'm dealing with. She was like, okay, now what? And kind of moved forward from there. And so yeah, she was just really, really cool. I liked her. And I just liked the whole mystery aspect of this book, like the ghost and why the ghost is there and why it's haunting that area and that sort of thing was just interesting. There is a bit of a twist that I did not see coming at all and I thought was pretty good. And I liked it. And then even there was also kind of something that happened at the very end because it's kind of cool because she is doing a podcast. The very first chapter, if you will, is like her podcast. And so because I was listening to it via audio, it sounds like you're listening to like the intro to her podcast where she's talking about like what she's going to be doing. And so the very last chapter was the same way, where she's kind of wrapping up the story of her time at this house. But it sounds like you're listening to a podcast. And she mentioned something in that last bit that was also like a little bit of a twist, kind of, that I also was like, oh, okay. So yeah, overall, I think especially for it being geared towards a younger audience, it was solid. I liked it. It had some great horror elements, some spooky stuff, this very creepy ghost. I liked it. And I also liked, I looked it up later, that Sarah Glenn Marsh, the author, is a type 1 diabetic, like our main character. So she definitely, when she was writing about this character, most likely used her own experiences and knew a lot about it because it's her daily life in real life. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I believe she's also bisexual, like our main character. So yeah, awesome. So overall, if you are looking for a YA horror mystery, especially I think the summertime would be a fun time to read this because it does take place in the summer and it deals with a lake and stuff like that. I would check this one out. It's good. It's fun. So overall, I'm glad that I have checked those 2 boxes or 2 books off of my summer TBR from 2021. Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to get to these books. It turns out The Buried was kind of a bust. It wasn't that great, but I think it was, you know, The Girls Are Never Gone made up for it. So both were, you know, interesting horror reads, both YA. And so it's interesting that one was kind of a flop and then one was great. So yeah, awesome. I think I might try to continue to do this because I did sort of put up together like upcoming releases for every season last year and starting with the summer. And so I think I might try this again in the fall and see like what books I put on the, you know, new releases for 2021 in the fall that I want to read, see which ones I read and then read the ones I didn't. I don't know. I think it could be fun. So let me know if that's something you guys would want to see in the future from me for like a vlog idea. I think it might be fun. So yeah, let me know. And yeah, thanks for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed. And that's it. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful week and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.